1 year after its creation, we'll hear what one Joplin organization has accomplished and what they hope to do moving forward. The weather is shaping up nicely for people to return to the water. We'll have some safety tips for you before you head out. The Biden administration is working to get 70% of Americans at least one vaccine shot by July 4th.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Today marks 1 year after Joplin for Justice was founded, and they celebrated at Ewart Park. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Chris Warner. The organization was formed last year after the death of George Floyd. Today, they were able to celebrate the accomplishments they've made over the year. Some of these include building a platform where the community can come together and creating change in Joplin.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of changes in Joplin. Obviously not all directly related to Joplin for Justice, but just keeping the conversation going and making these conversations prevalent cause people to act. So I think we've seen a lot of diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts.
The organization says moving forward, they hope to grow and continue education on how to best support the community and to be more welcoming. Tonight, we'll hear more about what the organization has accomplished in the past year. Well, a Pittsburgh man is dead and another seriously injured following a crash on US 69 in Crawford County. The crash occurred around 3:30 yesterday afternoon. Officials with the Kansas Highway Patrol say 66-year-old Michael Simones was killed when the car he was driving crossed the center line and struck the driver's side of another car. The driver of the other car, 68-year-old John Lowe, was taken to Overland Park Regional Hospital with serious injuries. The crash occurred on US 69 a little over 9 miles north of K47. Turning to 4-state weather, a few showers appearing outside. Nick Kelly joining us.
But as Doug advertised yesterday, Chris, they're going to be really hit and miss, and that certainly is panning out for us. Dry in Joplin, but looking almost west along 7th Street, that is a pretty heavy rain shaft picking up on a shower passing between Riverton and Columbus, and also another shower trying to hold together as it comes close to Chautauqua and Oswego. Again, this is just a few isolated heavy showers that we've seen pop up late this afternoon and early this evening. Other than that, everyone else is seeing partly sunny skies, a warm afternoon with temperatures for many in the lower 80s, but more rain chances on tap with this upper low slowly spinning across the Texas-Oklahoma border. In the meantime, again, temperatures warm, not too terrible, upper 70s to lower 80s all across the board. We'll go from the 80s, fall through the 70s, upper 60s by midnight, and eventually we'll drop back into the mid-60s, Chris. Any showers out there will taper off later on tonight, but again, more rain chances in the forecast. We'll break down the week ahead here in a bit.
All right, Nick, thank you. And as Nick mentioned, the weather, of course, is warming up, and that means more people may be heading to the water to cool off. But before jumping in the water, it's important to make sure you're being safe. This includes wearing the correct gear and knowing the right techniques. We spoke with paddleboarding instructors and paddle boarders themselves on the importance of staying safe while enjoying the water.
I think it is very important to let people understand safety gear is very important on this river. You know, any waterway, you can see we've got life jackets, we've got our helmets on. It's just water is a powerful force and sometimes you can't mess with it.
With how to get back on the board if you fall, or maybe what to do in a bad situation.
Instructors say the safest place to be when in the water is in one's board, and make sure everyone knows the fastest way to get back on should they fall off. The Carthage Business Expo is underway with a few changes this year. One of those changes, it was held outdoors at Central Park. The expo features a number of Carthage area businesses as well as a home show. The other big change this year, the addition of a job fair, working to connect employers with potential employees.
Oh man, it's exciting because what's awesome is we're giving a shirt away at this event, and then the next couple of weeks we'll see that shirt out in the community. It's like, man, it makes us feel proud that people are wearing the product that we put out. So it's exciting to see that, and it's also exciting to just make new connections and to establish friendships. So one thing that we try to do is we want to establish a relationship with people and with businesses, and not just a one-time sale.
This year's theme is Through the Decades. Well, the U.S. is nearing another grim milestone in the coronavirus pandemic, 600,000 deaths nationwide. That's according to Johns Hopkins University. New cases, hospitalizations, and deaths are down significantly, but the Biden administration is hard at work urging everyone to get vaccinated to fend off any more surges. CBS News correspondent Michael George reports from New York.
With daily new COVID-19 cases in Michigan going from a flood to a trickle, the state plans to fully reopen on July 1st. But experts warn that low case counts during the summer months could trick people into a false sense of security.
It is somewhat seasonal, and so I would say next fall we could see another tick up in COVID cases.
In Sacramento, California, Governor Gavin Newsom helped select 15 lucky residents to win $50,000 apiece in the state's vaccine lottery.
This is all about raising awareness, about encouraging others that are on the fence to get vaccinated.
But even with California planning to fully reopen its economy and dropping mask mandates on June 15, Newsom warned that the virus is not taking the summer off. This San Francisco restaurateur says he and his employees are keeping their face coverings on for the time being.
I don't mind wearing the mask. I think it's a good practice till we literally defeat the pandemic, if that's possible.
In South Carolina, Dan Tompkins spent nearly 300 days in the hospital and rehabilitation after a close call with COVID-19.
So all I want to do is just get home. I got a little puppy about this tall. I haven't seen in 10 months that I want to hold in my lap this afternoon in my recliner and tell her how much I love her.
This week, Watkins got his wish with plenty of love, affection, and licks. Michael George, CBS News.
California Governor Newsom says he will not lift the statewide state of emergency, letting him hold on to powers to reinstate COVID-19 safety rules and regulations if needed. And we take this time now to honor one of our many four-state heroes. Lance Corporal Landon Packard served in the Marines in Iraq from 2004 to 2007. His hometown, Chetopa. And we are proud to recognize Lance Corporal Landon Packard, tonight's four-state hero. And remember, to learn more about other heroes or to nominate one of your own, just head over to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. That's a look at our top stories and a quick check of that forecast on the KOAM News at 6. Still ahead, we'll take a look back at the week's top medical stories. Plus, we'll tell you about a surge of COVID cases in the UK. Doctors' advice for healthier blood pressure and the CDC's warning for adolescents. Elise Preston has some of the week's top health stories.
The CDC is strongly encouraging parents to get their teenagers vaccinated. The agency's latest report finds adolescent hospitalizations for COVID-19 rose last month, and nearly one-third required intensive care. The Pfizer vaccine is approved for children 12 and older. The American Heart Association is urging people with mild high blood pressure and cholesterol to move more and sit less. Doctors say otherwise healthy patients should seek lifestyle changes, beginning with increased physical activity before turning to medication to manage hypertension or high cholesterol. A large European study finds high blood pressure during pregnancy can increase the risk of stroke or heart disease for babies later on. Hypertension or preeclampsia are common and often temporary for mothers, but researchers in Sweden say offspring can be affected for decades. Those are some of the week's top health stories. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
Well, the UK has recorded over 5,700 new COVID-19 infections today. That comes a day after the country reported more than 6,000 cases for the first time since late March. Concerns have been mounting over the spread of the Delta variant that was first identified in India. According to the Public Health England, the Delta is now believed to be the dominant coronavirus variant in the country. So far, over half of the UK's adult population have received both doses of a COVID-19 vaccine, according to government data. Well, still ahead, there's a day for nearly everything, including this type of burger. That story a little later.
But first, we'll break down a warm week ahead of us, plus more rain chances in the forecast. That's up next. Everybody got to enjoy a quiet start to our Saturday, and while most of us were able to keep dry for this afternoon and this early evening to start things out, we do notice that because of returning warmth and humidity, Not to mention partly cloudy skies, we have seen some random showers popping up, and like the summertime storms, they'll move wherever they want to go. In case today, trying to develop and move more to the northwest. So we can take a quick tour of the radar network and see who might be getting a bit wet at the 6 o'clock hour. We got one good shower passing on top of Columbus right now. Another shower trying to hold together in some fashion between Oswego and Chautauqua. Another shower right on top of Commerce, northwest of Miami. We're seeing a few more around Nowata, Chelsea, north of Claremore. A few little showers around Grand Lake. But on the Missouri side, the only good shower I see is right on top of Sarcoxie, and maybe another developing shower just north and east of Carthage around the Villa. That might make a run to Lamar. So we're going to hold on to some random showers, maybe a couple of storms too to start this evening out, but that did not stop temperatures from warming up at all. Very similar to yesterday. Lower 80s yesterday, lower to middle 60s this morning, and at least lower 80s this afternoon. So Joplin, we are dry right now while our camera at 7th and Rangeline continues to keep an eye on that heavy shower on top of Columbus. But we're quiet again in Joplin. 79 feels like 81 with the dew point sitting in the mid 60s. So it definitely does feel a bit more like June outside. Otherwise, temperatures upper 70s to lower 80s all across the board. And we're going to hold in the 80s and 70s for much of this evening until we drop back into the 60s later on tonight. But our weather setup's not going to change very much because of this spinning storm system. It's not at the surface. In fact, we hardly have anything influencing us at the surface. Maybe a light south wind because of high pressure out across the Carolinas. It's upstairs. That's where our main storm system is. This upper level low actually cut off from the main jet stream. The position of the jet will keep us warm for much of next week. But with the main jet far to the north, this incoming system can't be steered to move along in a quick fashion. So this is going to be a key player in the forecast starting tomorrow and taking us through a good portion of the early week. So any stray showers, couple of storms out there will fade away once we lose the heating of the day, let's say 10, 11 o'clock at the latest. We'll start dry in the morning, partly cloudy, lows back in the mid 60s. Then once we get into the afternoon, we'll warm up again, at least lower 80s, partly sunny, maybe a little uptick in our rain and thunderstorm chances, but still we are going to warm things up as temperatures top out. If I can ever get this planner to pop up, doesn't want to work, but we will top out in the lower 80s tomorrow with a light south breeze of 5 to 10. Dry to start Monday morning out, then we'll do it again for Monday. Scattered thunderstorms mainly in the afternoon. Some of them could be strong with some heavy rainfall, but we will keep warm with highs in the lower 80s. I think of 83, for our Monday. Let's go 84 Tuesday, mid 80s for sure Wednesday, topping out at 86. And it could feel downright almost hot and humid by the end of the week. Maybe a few random storms Thursday through Saturday, Chris, but upper 80s, it'll definitely feel like June by then.
June is definitely getting into gear here with those temperatures, approaching 90 by the end of the week.
I know. It's weird going from a cool start that we had this month, and well, now we're finally feeling like early summer around
Didn't
here.
take long, did it?
No, it didn't.
Nick, thank you so much. Danny Terzer joining us, and a Fort Scott alum having a big day at the plate.
Yep, we're talking about Caleb Delatorre. He plays for South Alabama now, and his team is competing in a regional today, so we'll have details on that. Plus, football is gearing up. Pittsburgh State hosts a camp with local high schools to evaluate athletes and prepare them for their upcoming high school seasons. We'll have it all next. Today kicks off a 3-day football camp hosted by Brian Wright and the Pittsburgh State football coaching staff. High school teams from local area schools including Pittsburgh, Columbus, Carthage, and Field Kinley are in attendance. The camp gives the PSU staff an opportunity to evaluate the local talent, and for the athletes, they get to showcase their skills to the college coaches. We caught up with Field Kinley head coach Deontay Wade, who says the camp will be a measuring stick for his squad. He expects these early reps will pay off come the fall.
It's going to be great for everybody here because it's early in the off season, gain some reps, just get more experience. We're young this year, so we want to see what our guys can do, and instead of it being September 3rd or whatever the first day is, let's get out here today, see what we can do, get better each rep, and then we'll go back and reevaluate and work on what we need to work on to prepare for the fall.
A former Fort Scott Tiger, Caleb De La Torre, has an impressive day at the plate today. Now at South Alabama, De La Torre went 4 for 5 with a home run and 3 RBI in the Jaguars regional game against the Gators. South Alabama smoked number 15 seeded Florida 19-1 in an important elimination game. The Joplin Outlaws opened up their season at home on Friday night. After facing a 2-0 deficit, the Outlaws scored 3 unanswered to win the ballgame 3-2. Head coach Chris Dawson gets a win in his first game as the Outlaws head coach. Tonight will be a rematch between the two teams at Joe Becker, and we'll have highlights at 10. In the majors, the Cardinals are just 1.5 games back from the division-leading Cubs, but St. Louis has dropped their past 3 games. Tonight they'll try and pick up their first win in their series against Cincinnati. Cardinals down 2-1 in the fourth. Yadier Molina gets hit on the knee with a foul ball, and he'll leave the game. The bottom 4, Nolan Arenado with a base hit. Paul Goldschmidt scores to tie it up at 2. Arenado goes 3 for 4 today. Some nice defense in the 7th. Cincinnati up 5-2. Tommy Edman makes a diving catch to keep it a 3-run game. St. Louis, though, can't pull off the comeback. They fall 5-2. The Royals are looking for their 6th straight win tonight, hosting Game 3 of a 4-game series against the Twins. Kansas City took the first 2 games of the series, including Friday night's 14-5 win that featured 9 runs for the Royals in the very first inning. Kansas City looking to keep the bats hot tonight, but this one ends up being a battle. Royals fall 5-4. Whit Merrifield drives in 2, and Andrew Benintendi homers.
We've got Royals have had a bit of a rough start to the season, it seems, so far. They've been up, down, hit and miss, and poor Yadier, foul ball to the knee.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that, but you're right, hot and cold this season, and like I said, we'll have Outlaws highlights against the Peak Prospects coming up at 10.
Looking forward to it. Danny, thank you, and we'll be right back. Tonight at 10, we're going to hear more from leaders with Joplin for Justice on their 1-year anniversary and what they're working on going forward. Plus, the warmer weather that Nick keeps talking about means more people are going to be hitting the water. We've got some tips to help keep you and your family safe. And we're going to take you up to Carthage for the Chamber's Business and Home Expo and the little addition they have. That and more coming up at 10. Well, Saturday is a great time to fire up the grill and celebrate the 4th annual Veggie Burger Day. June 5th is the day to celebrate the positive impact veggie burgers can have on your waistline and on the health of the planet. Amy's Kitchen kicked off the holiday in 2017 to celebrate the power of the plant-based patty. Most veggie burgers can have all of the protein, nutritional value, and flavor that traditional beef burgers do, but with much less fat. Don't forget to take some pictures of your veggie burger creations and share them on social media with the hashtag Veggie Burger Day. And a veggie burger is something I can't say I've ever had, but I have seen them. Have you ever tried one, either of you?
Yeah, they're not bad. I like to switch it up sometimes.
I know, like I've had actually the Impossible Burger when they brought it to Burger King.
Right.
It's like a no mayo, of course, but it tasted good. It almost tasted like the real thing, and it really helps me out, especially when Lent comes around again.
All right, well, the two of you have kind of sold me. I think I'm going to have to give a veggie burger a try. I've just never really had one.
I mean, if Doug were here, if you had a true grill master here, they might say otherwise.
That's true. And I'm not a true grill master, so I'm all right with trying a veggie burger. Well, Nick, perfect weather for grilling, unless you're under one of these spotty showers.
Yeah, even if you get underneath these random showers this evening, they're not going to stick long, and everybody will be dry later on tonight and start tomorrow morning out, but thunderstorm chances just about each and every day next week. Lower 80s early in the week, and then we'll end next week with upper 80s. Definitely feel like June by then.
Nick, thank you. Danny, I told you I'm worried about Yadier Molina, but I'm sure you've got something more fascinating for sports.
Yeah, I'll tell you, last night's game for the Outlaws, pitching looked great, so I think that's going to be something to look out for this entire season and into this game tonight as well.
I'm looking forward to it. It's nice having a homegrown team. Danny, Nick, thank you. And that's our time for now. Our next news time is at 9 over on Fox 14. We'll see you back here at 10 on KOAM. And don't forget, for the latest news, weather, and sports on demand, just head over to KOAMNewsNow.com. Check out the KOAM News Now app. Thanks for making us part of your night.